let's talk about a bout that was just announced. That contracts have been signed for it. I don't believe it's been officially announced by the UFC, but
I don't think Tony has signed yet.
Officially, yeah. Officially. It hasn't been announced that Tony Ferguson has signed, but Khabib Nurmagomedov, his father came out and has confirmed that he signed the contract to fight Tony Ferguson. So all kinds of people, from Ariel Helwani to Chael Sonnen to random terrible MMA journalists who literally just write down and tweet whatever fighters say on Ariel Helwani's MMA show. Peak journalism, guys. Peak journalism. At least we express opinions. But anyways, they're all saying, Khabib, Tony Ferguson, it's happening. It's finally here. The fight's going to be here. It's been made.
But the main issue is that it's not fucking ever going to happen.
It's not going to happen. Let me tell you why Tony Ferguson and Khabib Nurmagomedov is not going to happen. This is going to be the most logos-based argument that I have ever made in my life. These men are damn cursed. I don't know what they did. I don't know what, American, I don't know what Native American graveyard Tony Ferguson took a crap in. I don't know,
an acid trip inside of walls.
I don't know what Tony did. I don't know what, ruin Khabib went into, what ancient temple he took an artifact from or whatever. But these men are bad juju. If this was a horror movie and Khabib or Tony were in my house, I would be like, okay, boys, bye. Y'all are getting killed by something out of this world because you guys.
Not by us, because I wouldn't be able to kill them.
No, nothing mortal. Honestly, at this point, nothing mortal can kill them. The UFC needs to book the fight versus whatever angry spirit there is, chasing their lives around. Let me tell you some damn numbers. So this is our boy Khabib. This is how many fights Khabib himself has pulled out of. Let's start back in 2014. A bout with Gilbert Melendez is scheduled. Oh, wait. It was not officially confirmed, but the media was announcing that it had been signed and was happening. Wait, no, it was canceled for undisclosed reasons. 1. 2014 as well. Scheduled to fight Cerrone. Pulls out due to a knee injury. 2. 2015. Scheduled to fight Cerrone again. Pulls out with a knee injury. 3. Tony Ferguson Khabib gets made for the first time. Hey, that's great. 2 greatest of all time lightweight contenders going to fight each other.
Amazing.
Oh, wait. No! Khabib pulls out with another knee injury. 2016. Signs a bout agreement to fight Alvarez. He actually signs 2 bout agreements to fight Alvarez.
That was a great fight, too.
Wait, no, it didn't happen because the UFC literally honey-dicked him because signing contract doesn't mean anything. That's 5. 2017. Again, Tony Ferguson Khabib gets made for the 3rd time.
He pulls out again.
Pulls out a Ferguson fight because of a botched weight cut. That's 6 fights. 6 fights that Khabib has pulled out of since 2014 to 2017. Or that he's been a part of and that have not come to fruition. To be fair,
he's gotten a lot better. He's got his weight cut under control now.
To be fair, boy, it happened, blah, blah, blah. And the Alvarez one wasn't his fault. I only include that to show that a bout agreement, again, MMA damn media, how many times do you need to be shown? Fans, a bout agreement doesn't mean anything. Yeah. Melendez had a bout agreement. Khabib signed 2 contracts to fight Alvarez. That never happened. Now, so I've established Khabib is cursed. Let's talk about Ferguson.
Ferguson's insane.
So Ferguson actually isn't that bad.
No.
He's not quite the pull-out merchant. Khabib is the Walmart of pull-out merchants. Tony's running a little mom-and-pop shop of pull-out merchants. Yeah. He's still a pull-out merchant.
Respectable.
On a much smaller scale.
Careful with that. Tony does not pull out.
Oh! Tony doesn't
pull out. And
to be fair, Tony never pulls out. Except when he's fighting Khabib.
Okay,
2016, Tony pulls out a Khabib fight due to a lung injury. 2018, Tony pulls out a Khabib fight due to a torn knee he accrued during media obligations while he was wearing sunglasses indoor, didn't see a cable, and tripped over it.
Man, that cable, pound for pound, goat of the UFC.
So, to be fair to Tony, he has only ever pulled out of the 2 fight bouts he had scheduled with Khabib. Yeah. To be fair. But this is why I say Tony Ferguson is cursed. Let's go through this. This is the list of Tony's opponents that have pulled out of fights. So starting in 2012, and this is a doozy, guys. Did I say doozy?
Doozy,
I'm
yeah.
excited. I start talking like a grandma when I get
Come
excited.
on, you boomer. Let's go.
So 2012, he's scheduled to fight Dennis Hallman. Shocker. Dennis Hallman gets injured. Okay, they find a replacement. Tony Ferguson is scheduled to fight Thiago Tavares.
Injured.
Injured! Then he has to fight Michael Johnson. That's his only loss in the UFC.
Isn't that
That's so messed up.
That's so heartbreaking. Fuck,
So,
man.
a late replacement is Tony's only loss. Anyways, so that's the first one. 2014, he's scheduled to fight Castillo Ferguson. Oh wait, that's on UFC 176, the only major UFC pay-per-view.
And it was his brother. He can't fight another Ferguson. That's fucking
No, Castillo. Danny Castillo.
Oh, whoops, I'm sorry, my bad.
Who are you thinking?
I'm sorry, I'm a casual. Keep going.
No, anyways. Oh no, that bout, man, what a great fight Castillo Ferguson would be. Oh no, that's on UFC 176, the only pay-per-view that's ever been canceled.
Yeah.
So that fight gets rescheduled, so it does happen. But I'm just saying, he's cursed. Then 2015, Yancy Medeiros pulls out due to injury. 2016, the rematch with Johnson is scheduled. Yes, my boy Tony, he's going to avenge his one loss. Oh no, Johnson withdraws due to injury. 2016, Michael Chiesa fight. Wow, what a great fight that would be. Grappling Fest, what an interesting matchup. Oh no, Michael Chiesa pulls out due to injury. So, Tony Ferguson and Khabib are cursed.
What a workup.
They are done. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for my middle school ass
Look at that
presentation.
This is nothing but professionalism.
This is why we're the #1 MMA podcast in the damn world. So, I'm just saying, this fight is not happening, and you guys are welcome, because I'm going to tell you this now.
Yeah.
Like-
Nobody get excited. Nobody book a plane ticket to, I don't know, United Emirates in the Middle East. Don't worry about it.
Or at least, like, somebody please do some sort of, like, human sacrifice to appease whatever vengeful spirit has globbed onto Tony and Khabib. I've never seen a fight get made 4 times and get canceled for the weirdest reasons.
It's fucking crazy.
I've never seen a fighter with so many opponents pulled out, ever. It is, this is ridiculous when you
it's
actually
crazy.
go through it. And Khabib, I've never seen a fighter who's so damn good, and obviously it's such a great team around him, and obviously it's just like a mental giant.
And based in wrestling.
And based in wrestling, have so many issues with their knees and their weight cut.
Well, okay. So let's...
The only thing that gives me hope.
Yeah.
Yeah, is what I think you're going to talk about.
Let's pretend that it is going to happen, right? And so my counters to that is, first of all, Tony can pull that at any moment because he fucking like sharpens his elbows with fucking blades and all kinds of shit like
That's
that.
the weirdest part is he doesn't get injured by any of his crazy training methods.
Yeah, nothing.
He got like a lung injury. I've never even heard of a fighter getting a lung
diving.
injury.
Scuba diving.
Was
or
it
something.
scuba diving? Oh, I was like, sounds like a Donald Cerrone injury. Like, so he got a lung injury and then he tripped over a cable doing media obligations wearing sunglasses indoors. It's not like the fact that he's on a Bosu ball doing backflips while throwing elbows onto a cheese grater.
Yep.
Like, no, he's fine with that. That doesn't work.
It's just normal man shit.
That's what we're going to do when this podcast finishes.
So I do think that it is a good time, or I think it's more likely to happen this time. But because it's so far away, I cannot.
So the bout was scheduled for April.
Yeah,
the bout was scheduled for April.
April's like a million years from now.
It's not even an exaggeration. It's half a year away.
Vladimir Putin could literally go down and kill Khabib by accident from some desert storm strike or some shit like that. That's too far away.
Yeah, it's bad.
And then, but I will say, Khabib is really good at weight cutting now, which is awesome.
He also hasn't pulled out of a fight since 2017.
Which is
also, to be
amazing.
fair to Khabib, Tony hasn't pulled out of a fight since 2018.
Yep.
Tony hasn't had an opponent quit due to injury. That wasn't Khabib. Well, I guess that was in 2017. So Tony hasn't had an opponent pull out since 2017. So maybe. And Ben Askren died as a sacrifice to the MMA gods.
Yeah.
Maybe everything is good.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
But I will say that Khabib's mental health, or not Khabib's, Tony's mental health
That is a concern.
is a concern. And it looks like he has it all
I've
under
heard nothing
control.
bad. I've heard no rumors or anything even.
Like it's under control and all of that, but that's always a factor too, and whether, you know,
He's going to make it to the octagon.
yeah, well, and such like an emotionally turmoil, like I feel like Ferguson's career although he has had an amazing career, and I think he's literally deserves way more respect than he gets. He should have way more fans. He should be paid a lot more than what he's paid now. I think that his whole entire career has been highlighted by the fact that he's never been able to face Khabib.
Yeah.
And that, to me, I feel like, and not to sound like a pansy or anything like that, but like that is emotionally taxing for an individual to like go through that kind of stuff for 4 times.
Honestly, for both of them, it's like, how do you focus on training camp that you've had 4 times already?
Right.
That, like, do you believe the fight's even gonna happen?
Right.
Like, truly, like, I know they'll say they do, but in their heart of hearts, do they think this is actually gonna come to fruition? Because they've poured their heart and soul into this training camp for this very fight 4 times.
Right.
Ah.
And it's if this fight were not to happen, that's probably like the most heartbreaking.
I think it's probably the biggest disappointment for a fight that never happened in MMA history, for sure.
Absolutely.
It's interesting. It's worse for Ferguson as well, because Khabib has
He has a title.
Khabib has the title. He has landmark victories over McGregor, over Poirier.
We'll forget about Tony's name in a couple of years.
If Tony needs an A-level win over like an A-level name, Tony doesn't. Who does Tony have? Barbosa and Lee. RDA. Those are his 3 best wins. But he needs like a true. I don't know.
Well,
I want Tony to have a true A-level head on his mantle that I don't think he has yet.
Yeah.
And Khabib has 2.
Well, no, I mean, he did fuck up Pettis, you know.
Pettis is not A-level.
Yeah,
Especially
you're right,
now,
you're
man.
Right, you're right. And the Kevin Lee one, it was a good one.
It was good, but Lee's record since then has made it look worse. Maybe Lee will turn it around to TriStar, and in retrospect, that victory will seem more impressive
better, yeah.
in the future. But like Lee went on kind of a downswing after that.
So
and RDA, I'd argue as well. Like the RDA win at the time was like, whoa.
Right.
But
it hasn't aged very well.
I mean, RDA is still really good, but he's not, I'd say, like the A-level guy anymore. He's like a B-level guy, which is still amazing, and he's up a division. So I don't know. I want Tony to have a real trophy on his mantle, and Khabib is the. I mean, in lightweight now, I feel if Tony fought Gaethje, Poirier, or Khabib, or McGregor, that would give him the real
recognition that he needs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But then who knows? Because that's always the issue. Is like, what if he beats Gaethje and then Gaethje just.
Right.
Which I think Gaethje will fall off a cliff very hard.
Really?
At some point. I don't know when.
And not to segue into that, but that's interesting.
Yeah.
Because I actually do think Gaethje's getting a lot better.
I think Gaethje's getting better too. Yeah. But I think the issue is like with his fighting style. I think
his career is going to be short.
His career is going to be short, and I don't think it's going to be a like slow and steady decline. Like I'd say RDA has kind of had a steady decline to a degree with some ups and downs stuff, but sort of generally slowly trending downwards. I think Gaethje's going to fall off a damn cliff.
Gotcha. That's interesting. So who do you think? Okay, so who do you think? So the fight's happening in April. We'll pretend that that's happening.
I'm good at playing pretend. I play Dungeons and Dragons. So this is going to be a role playing exercise.
So who do you think would win?
Without really thinking through it too much, I'm inclined to say Khabib.
Khabib.
I think Khabib's a safer decision pick, obviously, because he's undefeated. Yeah. We haven't seen him be beat. He looked amazing in his last few fights. I want to think through it more, and I want to think of possible routes to victory, specifically with each fighter's tendencies. But
I'm not sure. So this is what leads me to a pause with Tony, is that all of his like 2 or 3 last wins have always been by like almost the skin of his teeth. Like when he fought Kevin Lee, they were like evenly matched.
Tony hasn't had a blowout win in a
very long time. And he's taken a ton of damage.
RDA, Barbosa.
Even Barbosa was by the skin of his teeth too.
Venata.
Yep.
He got head kicked really badly in the Venata fight, right? Yep. Like, when's Tony won a dominant fight? Then again, Khabib, I don't know. I have a hard...
So this is why I think that Tony could win, is because he keeps the forward pressure, which is something that Poirier kind of started to do for that split second that he hit Khabib with a left, and Khabib does not do well backing up. That's
Well, he can't do anything.
right. He can't do anything. You know, he can't impose his will. I think Tony has the chin to be able to eat an overhand right from Khabib because I think he'll expect it, and I think he'll keep coming forward. And not that I'm saying that Khabib has.
I don't think Khabib would be able to set up the overhand right because I don't think Tony's going to be that scared of the takedown threat.
Right.
Because Khabib's
Or he'll just roll with it and he'll hit his shoulder. Right.
Khabib's got like good striking for sure, but he doesn't have his striking is predicated on his ability to scare his opponent of his takedown.
Right.
So I don't think Tony is actually going to be scared of that takedown threat.
Right.
Maybe we're wrong.
And Tony, I don't think Tony has like knockout power. Not one shot knockout power, but he is good at doing a lot of combinations, which will back up Khabib even more.
It's weird because I would agree that he doesn't have like one shot knockout power, but he definitely hits hard enough that it gets the respect. You can see fighters visibly shooken by his strikes, which doesn't happen with everybody.
Right.
Also, Tony's fists are like huge.
Really?
His hands are enormous. It's actually, if you look at him, it's really weird. It almost looks like he's wearing full boxing gloves. I'm not even joking.
That's
like
crazy.
They're comically large hands. Yeah. So it's going to be an incredibly interesting matchup, and I'm going to think through it a lot more because I'm going to get honey-dicked. And I'm telling this for everybody. This was mostly a video essay to myself about why the fight's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Because I'm so excited at the prospect of it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get honey-dicked. We all are going to get honey-dicked.
Because everybody's excited for this fight.
Man.
When I saw that, like, because it was like announced like what 2 days ago. Well, it wasn't announced. It was like
news started breaking 2 days ago, and then it seemed like news really broke yesterday.
And
with Khabib's dad confirming the contract signing.
And I'm super excited for the fight, and I really wish that this fight would be able to actually come to fruition.
It's the MMA community's white whale. Like I think it's the best fight you can possibly make in MMA.
Yes, I agree.
Which is awesome because you don't really get these types of matchups where you have two guys who are on such long streaks. It's very like boxing-esque. Except it's even rare because they haven't been fighting cans. They've been fighting in the UFC and they're all these streaks.
For such a long time. Like they were trying to go up against each other in 2017 or 2016?
The first fight was 2015 was the first time the fight was made.
Wow.
So it'll be 5 years.
To be fair, that in 2015 it wouldn't have been this momentous fight.
But the thing that's so crazy is these guys' streaks are so long.
Right.
It still would have been a really good fight even then.
Yeah.
It would have been like a 7 or 8 win streak for each guy, I think.
But I feel like they wouldn't have gotten paid as much.
Yeah. Well, I think it's better for both guys. And we have been teased so many times. Like
that everybody's excited for this.
Everyone's so excited.
If this fight is actually made in April, it would be for sure the best fight in 2020.
Yeah.
The best fight. Yeah.
As far as what it means, yeah.
Yeah.
Stop it!
Because if Tony...
Stop! You're going to get me invested! It's not going to happen!
If Tony is able to beat Khabib, I think Tony would be probably one of the greatest of all time. And I do think Khabib's one of the greatest of all time.
If he beats Tony, he'll be the lightweight GOAT.
Yeah.
For sure.
For sure.
The lightweight GOAT for sure, and he has to start being in the conversation for GOAT.
Pound for pound.
Yeah.